But let's start the Manchester Derby. It's 2-0, and it's pretty much, I thought, it looked like a completely different United. I know it's a cliche. I don't like cliches. And you can say it's the new manager bounce. But then again, they already had the new manager bounce with Darren Fletcher.
Yeah.
It just looked like there was a level of organization. And I guess not that they were disorganized under Amorim, but a level of organization, a system that people are familiar with, where they're actually in their better positions.
Yeah.
And a level of calm and almost like a quiet confidence from Michael Carrick's team.
Yeah, and we need to start by obviously praising Manchester United and Michael Carrick before criticizing Pep Guardiola.
That's what I was doing.
Manchester City. Yeah, no, you were right.
Yeah.
Because it was City's worst performance by far this season. Terrible from Guardiola to the players. But credit to United. You're right, the 4-2-3-1, to go back to that, to put Bruno Fernandes in his best position as that number 10, to have Mbeumo. All the decisions in terms of team selection that Carrick made, Mbeumo as a number 9 ahead of, I don't know, Cunha, Šeško, Zirkzee, to have Dogu on the left and Ahmad on the right. For example, in that front four with Bruno, Mainu back as a starter, his first start in the league this season, obviously was good with Casemiro. Even, I don't like Harry Maguire, but Maguire and Lisandro Martinez together against Erling Haaland. All of that worked. What I like maybe the most is the intensity and the passion that they showed, which had been sometimes there with Amorim, but this time it was, you could tell they were really up for it.
Yeah, I don't like to talk too much about sort of the metaphysical, psychological side of football because I think we over-egg it too much, but it was definitely there. And I think, and let me ask you this, because I asked a question in the column. I think we both agree, I'm putting words in your mouth, Diogo Dalot should have been sent off, yeah?
Yeah, after 15 minutes, yeah.
Okay, so if he gets sent off, it's possible that they don't win the game.
Absolutely.
But do you think it would have affected the way they played after, other than being down to 10 minutes, in terms of intensity, in terms of vibe that Carrick gives off?
No, yeah, you're right. Probably not. You would have probably played deeper with a lower block, but keep that intensity in all the duels. They were on top of everything, winning the first one, winning the second one, fighting for everything. And at some point I thought, okay, they're going to run out of gas at some point, and maybe City in the last 20, 25, 30 minutes would just come back into the game, score one, and then it'd be very tense and things like that. But no, never. They kept going and going. And again, and I think Guardiola is right, and I'm not trying to defend him, but to have played on the Tuesday against Newcastle away in the League Cup semi-final first leg, when United obviously had a whole week to prepare, even with a new manager, I think took his toll. But then we can then criticize Guardiola for the team selection after anyway.
Yeah, no question about that. I would imagine, we didn't say it, Ryan Shirky on the bench.
How is he not starting is beyond me.
There's another factor too. Erling Haaland had 14 touches in this game, 3 in the opposition half. And you look at the guys who were out there, certainly in midfield, you expect a midfield trio of Rodri, Foden, and Bernardo Silva to be able to control the game and to provide regular service. And the 2 wingers, of course, that they had out there. But it wasn't there. I mean, Doku and Semenyo, you expect speed and energy and whatever. That is a failure. And I want to blame the back line, because obviously if you're worrying about what's happening behind you, but it can't just all be that, oh no, I'm concerned that, Nathan Ake is going to, and Kusanov are going to lay eggs again.
Yeah, but when your back four is the one that City had in this game, which is a makeshift one, because obviously they're waiting for Maguire to arrive, which is soon, but they've got all those injuries. Okay, we all know that. But to still play such a high defensive line away at Old Trafford, I know it's a team that United that hadn't won much and were in crisis and all of that. But they've got pace. They've got Bruno that can pick a ball anywhere, as we saw on the Dogu chance that Donnarumma saves. Incredible. 2
exceptional saves from Donnarumma, I thought.
Yeah.
This could have been 4 or 5.
But you can't play that high line with such a passive press in midfield. Like Rodri can't run anymore. Bernardo can't run anymore. They can't press. We know that Haaland, you said the other day on the show, is not a good press off the ball either. So how can you go into this game like this with that kind of game plan from Guardiola is crazy.
Yeah. And I think, if you thought Doku and Semenyo were going to do enough of the pressing on their own, no.
Not wide like this. He doesn't,
no. All right, Jules, let's talk the defense. Obviously, Pep kind of feels the same way, because Guardiola out for the season.
Yeah.
Ruben Diaz out until middle of February. John Stones in and out. We don't know. So they've lined up £20 million for Mark Gay. Now I'm being super cautious with this because I remember another team that had agreed a deal for Mark Gay, and he was having his medical and stuff, and Steve Parrish was in the sauna, and then suddenly the deal collapsed. And to this day, we still don't know. We still don't know why. Yeah. And no, it's not because Oliver Glasner threatened to resign, by the way. We assume it's going to go through. If it doesn't go through, but I want to. Gay would obviously be a tremendous addition. He'd have to make an adjustment, I think, from going to a back three to a back four. But he's a smart guy. He's
he does that with England anyway.
He's better than Kusanov and Max Aline. Yeah. Where Max Aline is right now, right?
Yeah.
But I think the broader thing is they realize that they need another center back. And as you know, I love being critical of clubs and Monday morning quarterbacking. I gave Liverpool a super hard time because they went into the season with Konate, Van Dijk, and then a young Leone and an old Joe Gomez.
Yeah.
And botched the Gay thing. I wonder, have I been too kind to Pep? Because you could look at it and say, oh, you went into the season with Diaz and Gvardiol, and I guess Ake is the extra.
Yeah.
But Ake's not that good.
Yeah, it hasn't been that great for a while. Yeah.
So he recognizes this and he's trying to fix it on the fly.
They're lucky to have the kind of Gay opportunity that usually you don't come up that often.
Although weirdly this summer, I mean, I guess they can't sign Konate.
No, yeah.
But they could sign Daya Upamecano if they threw enough money at him.
But for January signing to be like this, a bargain at I know it's 20 million and he's free in 6 months, but still a player of his caliber. That's they're lucky there.
And we've seen guys 6 months away from free agency incidentally go for much more than 20 million.
As well,
so I think we need to put that in. I think he just obviously thought that Kusanov was going to develop maybe differently than he did.
Yeah, and I think Kusanov is actually improving. Yeah, he's really young, but I think he's improving. The problem is around him, and not just him, but that, as we said, that back line in general is Rodri and Bernardo in front of it, and what you want to do with that back line, how high you want it, how you're going to press, how you're going to defend as a team, your rest defense, which I think, again, in this game against United was terrible. And it's very strange that we get to this point of the season in January. And okay, I know the injuries are a problem, fair enough. But defensive structure for top clubs, usually, yes, you've got more important players than others and better players than others, but it's still a top club. And the basics of your defensive structure and your rest defense, for example, should be the same, whether it's you or me playing, or Kusanov, or Ruben Diaz and Gvardiol. They'd be better than us. But the idea is the same, right? Let's be in this position if we lose the ball. Let's do this if we lose the ball. If we have the ball, we are there. There was none of that in this game. I was appalled by the level of Manchester City from the start to the end, with the ball and without the ball, in every compartment of the game. And Guardiola can say, they were better than us, they beat us, congratulations to them. Sure. But look into what you did as a game plan, the team that you set up, and how bad the whole thing was.
He needs to figure it out. And I think this is something you have to figure out on the training pitch. And he just doesn't have a lot of training sessions.
Yeah.
So against most teams, I think they can coast, and Gay comes and Donnarumma performs a few miracles, and Haaland isn't as poor as he was in this game. But nightmare scenario, what happens if Haaland goes down? What happens if Haaland has a run like he had, for example, the year that they won the treble where he didn't score for like a long time?
Even nice, 1 goal in 6 is on penalty. He hasn't scored in open play for 6 games.
I mean, that is what really would concern you, because it's not like he has all these prolific players around him and they got a ton of goals from midfield or from the wings. I mean, maybe Marmoush returning is going to help a little bit.
Yeah.
But that's something, apart from the defense, that's something that that should be concerning you. And also, do you want to play this pressing game? Should you be playing a possession game?
But Pep Linders is here for that. Well, otherwise, you don't hire him.
That's fine. Pep Linders is here, and City are having a bad season again, like last season, by their standards, that the other Pep set, right? So it's not like, oh, look, I've just brought, Michael Jordan on board. I need to do everything he says.
No, but you must believe in that.
You believe in it, but if after 6 months you haven't been able to implement it in a satisfactory way, I wonder at what point does Pep say, you know what, I have better players than anybody else. I'm Pep. I've played many different ways. Maybe what this guy wants to do isn't right for me. maybe I find another way to go and get this over the line, because we can't let a season like this where we're 7 points behind Arsenal.
Yeah, it's interesting because we mentioned about the evolution earlier in the season, which they seem to be getting there, overloading that midfield. We've explained it at length, and they seem to have gone back on that to maybe go back a bit to what they were before, like you said, in the glory years. The problem is Rodri is half the player that won the Ballon d'Or. Bernardo is nowhere near as good. When Foden is transparent, like not just this game, but has been transparent for weeks now. If Doku or Semenyo, but more Doku because he's been there longer, doesn't work a bit of magic, there's just nothing.
I think.
So just to finish before you go, even the positional play, which obviously was the strength for so many years, even that is not working.
And I think if you go for the positional play, high possession, knock it around type game, and you have the players you can do that too, you also have Tijani Reinders, and that's not really his game, right?
No, yeah, but
so you kind of lose one way or another. I'm not even sure. I mean, Ryan Shirky can do many different things. I'm not even sure if that's his best game, right?
Yeah, sure.
So it's
but to have 65% of the ball like they did on Saturday and do nothing with it because they didn't have really anything.
Was it one shot on target the whole game?
I think, it's terrible.
All right, we got to talk about Michael Carrick, but before, just a little aside. So Nicky Butt and Paul Scholes were on the Overlap, Gary Neville's podcast.
Right.
I think it is Gary Neville's podcast. Right?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't really listen to it.
But they made a comment about how small Lisandro Martinez was. And they're talking about how Erling Haaland can put him in his pocket and whatever.
Right.
Lisandro Martinez says, I don't care what they say.
Yeah.
I don't listen to them. But if they want to say something like that, they should come to my house and say it to my face.
Yeah, I love that from Lisandro Martinez.
Part of me says, okay, this is just a bit of fun, blah, blah, blah. And look, they have a job to do. And I'm biased. I really like Nicky Butt as a person. I had the privilege of meeting him. They're doing their jobs as pundits. They, making fun of somebody's height isn't necessarily
That's
like
not
the most
for me, but
Yeah, it's kind of like if you're going to talk about like, oh look, it's difficult for him against a big guy, but joking that he's a Smurf, it's kind of like third grade, but whatever. And Martinez should be right in saying I don't care, like not taking too seriously.
Above that.
I do wonder too, by the way, like Paul Scholes isn't exactly.
Did we say about Paul? No, but did we say about Paul Scholes against Patrick Vieira when he was playing against him?
Yeah, I know. Like, look, Patrick Vieira keeps shooting. So. Yeah, exactly. So I don't know, and of course after something like this, but I do think it's worth mentioning because it did get quite a bit of attention, and it is the kind of thing that can galvanize matters a little bit.
Yeah, completely.
And look, in the end, all these guys in the punditocracy, all these former match, I don't know that they're always constructive in what they say because they keep harking back to the past.
Yeah, sure.
But nobody's going to doubt the fact that they love the club and they want to see Manchester United do well.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
With that in mind, one of them, Michael Carrick, is back as coach. The plan is for him until the end of the season. The last time they had this, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer came back, won 1 million games in a row.
Yeah.
And they said, oh, screw this interim job, give him the job. Give him the job now, right?
And they did.
Yeah. And I don't think it worked out.
No.
They had some results. I think they finished second under Solskjaer.
Yeah.
Longer term, I don't think it was any kind of development or everything. It was just trying to ape what they had before.
Yeah.
Does that mean it would automatically be a mistake to give Michael Carrick?
No, just don't rush it. As we said on Thursday's show, don't rush it. Give him, and which is the plan.
Well, you weren't here for Thursday's show.
Oh, Monday show. Sorry, Monday show.
Exactly.
Monday show. My bad. Give him until the end of the season, which is the plan, and then at the end of the season, where you would already have worked on your next manager through the season, because now they're receiving CVs, they're receiving phone calls from agents, from managers themselves. I'm sure they're going to draw a short list very soon on who they think could be the right guy from July 1st onwards, or whenever you want, end of June. And if they feel that Carrick is doing a good job between now and May, then they will add him to that short list. He will go through the same process, interview, exposing his showing his ideas, all of that. And then if they think he's better than Tuchel, Nagelsmann, Conte, Inzaghi, you or me, then they pick him.
That is the way it has to work. I'll be curious.
Just don't
Obviously,
give it to him in March if he's won 5 in a row. That's all.
There
Or
were
10 in a
different
row.
people in charge back when the Solskjaer incident happened. I think it's going to be really curious. I'll be really curious to see how Omar Barada handles this and the owners. I think they're going to be okay. I think they're going to do what you're suggesting they do and what I think is right.
You're right, yeah.
Which is take your time. Also, I think Michael Carrick has a different personality from Ole Gunnar Solskjaer.
Yes, probably.
More importantly, he has a different agent than Ole Gunnar Solskjaer.
Also, yeah.
I don't think anybody's going to be knocking on the door. And I also think the United ex-player commentariat out there, maybe they learned a little bit from the Solskjaer experience and they said, hey guys,
surely.
let's not rush the club into a decision.
That's
There's
right.
nothing to be gained from it.